Chalo, let's start the session. Miss Kindikriya, right?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. All right. So let's start the session. And okay. So before I start, I would like to understand any problem you guys facing, like in terms of the understanding the concepts, whatever you have done the previous all sessions about the policies, centralized policy, how it is going to be created, how the configuration is going to happen, right? How the branch onboarding, right? Controller onboarding. These are the basic thing, and I believe you all should know, right? Because the most important thing is a template and the policy. In SD-WAN, if you know these two things, you are okay to go. If you don't know these two things, how to create the template, how to create the policy, right? So it's like difficult. Again, you just have to give more time to understand these all stuff. Because in SD-WAN, everything is going to be similar except few of the things in terms of the, doing the configuration, understanding the hierarchy. But creating the policy is something that is intelligence, and creating the template. That's again, you just have to use your logic, how it is going to be created and what all things, because we keep doing in the CLI configuration since long. And now we just have to do GUI, right? So graphical user interface. So everything, if you're talking about any next generation technologies, right? Likewise, the SD-WAN, if you're talking about the SDXS, you talk about the Palo Alto firewall or any other firewall, not only Palo Alto, Fortinet, FortiGate, suppose, or even the routers or other vendors, they all are coming on the GUNet, like graphical user interface. That's why we refer our company name also as a GUNet. That is a graphical user interface networking. This is the concept about that, because the people are moving from the CLI to GUI, right? So graphical user interface is quite very important nowadays. That's why our company name is also GUINet. There's a graphical user interface networking. Okay. So I want like you guys also understand this graphical user interface is quite important nowadays. And without this graphical user interface, you cannot survive in the future, because CLI era has been finished. We don't require the CLI, right? Because command line and everything from the CLI troubleshooting and configuration is not required in the future days. Everything should be the graphical. So let me start something. So till now we understand about how to configure the static route, right? How we understand to configure the OSPF, right? We understand how to redistribute OSPF to OMP, and how to redistribute OMP to OSPF. This all you understand when you are redistributing OMP to OSPF. This is, if this is going to be OIA route or O route, right? Or internal OSPF, this all is going to be redistributed by default. No need to do that. But if you're having any external route, E2, E1, OE1, OE2, this need to be redistributed manually, right? But if you are redistributing manually OMP to the OSPF, this always going to be redistributed. So you just have to go in the router OSPF, like you just have to go in the router OSPF and redistribute OMP. There is two commands for the redistribution. One is sometime it's use the redistribute when you just going to redistribute from inside the any IGP to OMP, like OSPF to OMP. Like inside of the OSPF, you want to redistribute OMP, then redistribute is going to be required. But if you want to redistribute the OSPF inside of the OMP, then it is going to require advertise command. So that we understand, and we having this kind of the concept also in our previous sessions, and I believe everyone is agree about that. So let me show you here. So if I'm going there, admin, right, and if I'm show run, so you'll find that here redistribution might be happens. So you can say redistribute OMP because we are redistributing inside of the OSPF, we are redistributing OMP. But when you are redistributing OMP, inside of the OMP, you are redistributing the OSPF, then you just have to use this command, advertise. So you should know when use the advertise keywords and when use the like what I call the redistribute keyword. So these all you should know. Okay, so I believe we are good till now. So today what I'm going to do, today I'm going to tell you about the BGP configuration, how the BGP is going to be configured. So one BGP we have understand in our previous class, the BGP we configured that is for the underlay. So we created the BGP for our ISP, basically this MPLS. This was the static one, right? But for our this one, we just created the BGP for the our WAN routing protocols that is as acting as the underlay. And over this BGP, we just build the control connection and we build the tunnels. That is the OMP tunnel, and we created the routing protocol there. So that we have done. Now we just have to run the BGP between these LAN subnet. And after running this BGP, probably we just have to use some kind of localized policy based on the attributes. So if you want to manipulate the route based on the attribute, then how it is going to be happen? This all we just have to understand in today's class. Sorry. So how it is going to be happen? Let's understand. So if I want to configure the BGP, right? So how the BGP is going to be configured? So I will show you the CLI as well. If you want, I will show the GUI as well. Both we understand. So let me just see if this can be configured in the CLI first. So it is going to be easy for you all. So let me see which is the site is basically CLI manage. So device in this site, dual site. Let me see. It's very slow. It is a VH4. Okay, so this VH4 is a GUI. So for VH4, we'll try to do the BGP configuration by the GUI, but for this, we'll try to do the CLI. So let's go on the VH3 first, right? So if I'm going the VH3, first I need to assign the IP address on my LAN interface between these interface. So I'll create the new VPN, that is VPN 30. So here is my VPN 30. So VPN 10 we created for the static, VPN 20 we created for this OSPF. Now we are getting the VPN 30 for the BGP configuration, right? So now if I'm going to use VPN 30, and here I'm just going to use the interface that is GE0/2, right? So my interface is GE0/2. And I'll use the IP address. This is the IP address 10.3.101/24. And I'll use no shutdown. And I'll just commit it. So this has been done. So I have just defined the IP address, and this IP address is fine for me. Now, what next? So once I define this side IP address, I need to define the another IP address on the R13. So let me just go on the R13 as well. So side by side configuration, we will do that. So here I'll go that and I'll configure it, and I'll go on the interface Ethernet 0/2. And here I'll use the IP address that is 10. Basically, I have to use a no switch port, okay, because this is switch image. IP address 10.3.101. Let's use 13 255 255 255.0 and no shit. Okay. So from here, if I try to ping my switch, means the VH3, it should be reachable, right? Because we configure the IP address. See, it is pingable. So we make the communication between these point-to-point circuits. So we have this circuit, we have the reachability. This is the first condition to make any connectivity, any IGP neighborship, any VGP neighborship, or any kind of the dynamic router protocol neighborship. The first condition, my end-to-end reachability should be there. So now I have reachability. So what I can do, I try to configure the BGP. So to configure the BGP on the legacy router, it's easy. What you have to do, you just have to run the command router BGP and you just use the BGP number 65003. This is the BGP. So this is your AS number, and neighbor, you just have to define the IP address of the neighbor. What is the IP address? 10.3.101.1. So I'll just define it, and remote AS I'll just use as a it's IBGP because both sites are going to belong in the same AS. See, this site, this device also same, this because this site AS number is same. So this is the IBGP is going to run, not eBGP. If my AS is going to be different, then the eBGP come in a picture. So here I'll use this one and I click OK. So now it is done. Do right. So my BGP configuration of this site has been done. It's pretty easy, not much complicated to define in the BGP configuration. This BGP configuration has been done. Now, once we're done with the BGP configuration, what next? So once we're done with the BGP configuration, we just have to go another end of the router and we complete the same BGP configuration on this router, because legacy router we have done, but now it's time to do on our main SD-WAN router. So how it is going to happen? So I'm showing with various scratch. You first have to go on the VPN 30 because you have to do this BGP configuration under the VPN 30 because you call this interface under the VPN 30. So I have to go there, and after that, I need to write router BGP, and I just have to use AS number again 65003 because this is the AS number I need to use it. And then here I just have to define the neighbor. And what is my neighbor address? That's bit 13. So 13 and remote AS again should be the same. So exactly the same configuration what we have done. Only the difference is you just have to go and do the configuration of the VPN 30. Right? So we just have to commit it. So once I have made the commit, now you see if I am running show BGP summary VPN 30, because 30 VPN, you can see below already notification come, your neighborship has been up. You can see here it's showing the BGP 5 adjacency neighborship. This is the up. It's syslog message. But here, if you want to check, you'll see that your BGP is up here as well. So we make the BGP neighborship up and working. See, this is up and working. There is not an issue. So now we are good. So we are good with the BGP neighborship. What next? The next thing is, yeah, any question?
Yes, sir. Actually,
Yeah.
in real time, we are using the loopback with the help of IBGP. We are configuring whenever configuring, we are
Mm-hmm.
using IBGP. That time we
Mm-hmm.
are facing any challenges.
Means you want to make the IBGP with the loopback address?
Yes.
That is absolutely possible. You can make it. Just give me
Okay,
one
we are
minute.
facing any challenges or same thing?
No challenges. Why challenges? No challenge. You can create the BGP. What happened? Just give me 1 minute. Okay, you mean we having a two router, right? You having a R2. There is two way to configure the BGP. One is a directly connected interface. This is my Ethernet 0/0 here and Ethernet 0/0. But you want to make via the loopback 1.1. 1/32 and 2.2.2.2/32. You can make the BGP, IBGP, eBGP, whatever you want. The only condition is you should able to ping from 1 to 2. So you just have to use any static routing to make them reachability or any dynamic routing. This is the prerequisite because they are the one hop away, right? So in a real industry, basically people keep using some loopback because they are like virtual IP addresses, which is always going to be up and working. So they keep using. You can use, but majority of the case you will find also via the interface as well. So it's not hard and fast whether you have to use the loopback address, whether you have to use the any other address. You can use either of the way. Okay, Lim?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So even I want to make the loopback, it is possible. I can create the loopback, it is possible. Just matter of the doing. So you can see the BGP has been established. Now, once the BGP has been established, let's suppose, right? The BGP has been established. So what next? So the next stage, I need to advertise any prefix from any of the locations. So let's suppose I'm just wanted to basically, advertise the prefix from the R13 router. So how this route is going to be advertised? This is our next target. So the next target, we just have to advertise the route. So probably we just have to create any loopback address, right? New loopback address. So let me show you what the loopback here. So we created 13.13, 1113. So let me just create something interface 123, right? Interface loopback 123, right? So I'll create another loopback 123, 123, 123, 123, 255, 255, 255 dot 255, and no shit. This is my one of the loopback. So this loopback we created. Once loopback we created, right? So what is going to happen? The next step is we need to advertise this loopback in the BGP configuration. So how it is going to be advertised? So once we have to advertise this, we just have to go in the configuration and we just have to go in the router BGP, this one. And here by using the network command, I use the mask 255, 255, 255, 255.0. Right, so we done this. So once we done this, my BGP has been already established. So I need to check show IP BGP summary. The command is show IP BGP summary. And I need to check what is the prefix I'm advertising from this router. So what is the command for that? Show IP BGP neighbor. And this is my neighbor address and this is the advertised route. So we are advertising this prefix from our neighbor. So earlier you see there was a 0 prefix I am receiving. Installed is 0, received prefix is 0, right? So now if I'm going to run again the same command, so let's see what is the output is going to come. So now you can see all become 1 because we just advertise one prefix from here. So now all become 1 and it is already established. So I start getting the prefix that is my 123.3. This is the prefix. So how can I check that? So if you want to check show IP route VPN 30, so you'll find that this is a prefix we are learning that is from the BGP. So you okay? This is what we can configure this BGP from the CLI, right? You want to configure the BGP from the GUI for the R14, R4 as well. So how you can create that? So you just have to go here, right, on the template and just go in the template just for the R4 because it's a vManage mode. So we just have to get the CLI template. And let me just create one template here. What we require? One require the interface template, one require the BGP template. So let me just do that quickly. Both of the things. So let me just go down. This is my vEdge cloud. So we required one VPN because VPN 30 need to be created. So let me just get one VPN. So this is my VPN 30 template. So This is the quite important because you should know how to configure. VPN number is 30. So this we created, right? Any other information I need to put here? The answer is no. Nothing I need to put for time being. But you understand the problem. What is the problem is going to be happen. So I get a VPN 30, right? So now once we get a VPN 30, I need the one of the interface for the VPN 30 as well. So this is the next step. I'll go here and create the VH cloud and the interface. This is my interface. So I'll just select this interface and we just have to assign the IP address. So let me just use it. So VPN 30 interface template. So I just use it. Shutdown, I'll make no. Interface name, I'll use a device specific because might be I'll use for the other side also. So VPN 30 interface name, right? And IP, I'll use the static, but I'll use the device specific. Again, I'll make the VPN 30 because IP also I need to 30 interface IPv4 address. And tunnel, we don't require this because it's the LAN one. And we not require anything else. I'll save it. So this has been done also. Okay. So I'm okay with the VPN 30 template and now last thing we need the BGP configuration for the VPN 30. So this is a third thing we required. So I'll go again here, VH Cloud, and we having the BGP routing protocol, this one, LAN and WAN both. So I'll select this. And this is the IBGP. So I'll just go VPN 30, VPN 30, BGP template. CLI we understand. Now we are doing the GUI. So shutdown membership, no. AS number, we put a device specific. So let me just use BGP VPN 30 AS number, right? And redistribution for time being, leave it, none. Now you just have to go neighbor. So neighbor again, I'll select the here that leave the this one. Remote AS also leave the device specific. Address assembly not required, advanced not required. So I'll edit this also. So neighbor has been done. Nothing is else required. So now we are done with this particular configuration. Now just we have to go in device template. And this is a template for the dual side template. And in this template, already we know VH4 is called here. So under this template, we just have to add the new BGP configuration for the LAN, BGP interface and everything we just have to call there. So how it is going to happen? Let's understand. So I will go here in the 3 dot and I'll edit the template. After editing the template, we just have to go and we just have to add the new service VPN. So the new service VPN is VPN 30. So I'll just go and create a VPN 30. 1020 is there, so VPN 30 will be the created. In VPN 30, we require the VPN interface. So we already created VPN 30 interface. See, this is VPN 30 interface. We require the BGP as well. So we already created a BGP configuration. This is the BGP. Now we are done. So we just that much configuration required and we are done with that. The moment I will push this configuration, this is going to push to a device and my interface, everything is going to be created. So let me just fill the values. So value is what is the VPN interface name? So you just have to put from here. This is GE0/4. So I'll use GE0/4. This interface we are using and what is the IP address? So this is 10.4.101.1/24, right? AS number is 65004. BGP neighbor address, I'll use the 14 here because, 15 here because I'll use the .15 here because the R15 is .15 and remote AS would be the same. So this is the configuration I made it and I'll update it and I'll put the next and I'll configure it. The moment configuration will complete, my VH4 will be the all configuration if it is going to be successful configured. See, this has been done. So now this has been done. So after this, I'll go in the R4. So let me just go here, VH4, and let me show you the configuration. If I'm going here, show run VPN 30. Oh, we make 29 VPN. We make a mistake. How it's become 29? I make VPN 30. How it become 29? Oh my God. Let me just correct the template. VPN 29. Let me see it. Let me use it. Somehow it's become a 29. Might be I scroll something or what. Ah, here is 29. So you just have to take care of that also. Because I thought I created, but somehow. So G0 by 4, this is so what is the IP address? 10.4.101.1/24 65004. This is a 15 and this is 65004. Update, update, and configure. Just wait, let them complete. So now the configuration has been done. And after done this configuration, let me just check it again, the configuration. Show run VPN 30 now. So you can see there's a configuration. But one side we make the configuration, this router still don't have any configuration. So let me just do the configuration for another end also. So at least they can start pinging to each other. So let me just do here. So I'll go here and I'll create the interface Ethernet 0 by 2 and I'll define the IP address. Means no switch port against the switch. So it is not going to give the IP address. 10.4.101.15 to 55 to 55 to 55.0 and no should do ping. After do ping, I will just check ping point to point reachable. Yes, it is reachable. So now I'll go and create the router BGP. So router BGP, the AS number is this, and the neighbor is going to be this, and remote AS again is going to be this. So my BGP should be up and working. Show IP BGP summary. So it's an ideal state, but should be up because we configure the both end BGP. So just wait. Yeah, you can see the BGP is up. You see the logs as well. Here also you'll see that. So your BGP connection will be established. So BGP summary. So you'll see that your connection is established. VPN 30. And this is the established. But still you are not running any prefixes. So what you have to do, again, I'll create one loopback. So let me see what the loopback is available option I have. Show IP interface brief. So I'll create one of the loopback is interface loopback 125. And here I'll create the 125.125. This is my loopback, right? No shit created. So I just created the loopback here, and you can see the loopback. And then after I'll go in the router BGP and I'll advertise this loopback via the network command. So net mask edge. You just have to use 255, 255, 255, 255. And now we are done. So once you start doing, you can see this prefix advertise, start advertising from the neighbor. How can you check? So I will BGP neighbor and advertise out. This is getting advertised. So once I'll see this all prefix become the one, right? See, this all become one. And if you check the route, show IP route VPN 30, you'll start seeing this prefix is learning. Okay. But one problem is here. What problem we are facing now? Just understand. We advertise this 123 prefix, which is learning here. We advertise this 125 prefix, which is learning here. They are having the OMP neighborship, but this BGP route is not getting advertised by default in the OMP. And this OMP route is not getting advertised inside of the BGP. So this is we have to do manually. Similar here, the 123 will come OMP. So if you want to get 123 route here, so just advertise the OMP route into BGP, and you want to get this 125 into OMP, then you just have to advertise in the BGP to OMP. So mutual redistribution you have to do. So let me just write here. So mutual redistribution, mutual redistribution required. So OMP to BGP and BGP to OMP at both end. ठीक है, जहां भी आपको fix you want to achieve, because this is not something going to happen by default. So let me do first this one. So let me just go there in R3. You'll see this route is coming. 123 route is coming in the routing table. You can clearly see this 123 route is coming, but this route is not getting advertised. This route is not getting advertised in this place. Why? Because this is learning via the BGP. But this subnet you can see, this 10.4.101, this is coming because the connected subnet. So connected is by default going to advertise in the OMP, but BGP is not going to happen. So here I'm advertising 123 route, and this is not coming in my VPN 30 in this router. Clearly you can see here. Any question, just please let me know if you're not following me. So आप लोग मुझे बताना कि नहीं समझ में आ रहा मुझे सर कि क्या आप कह रहे हो, क्योंकि ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है आप लोगों को. ठीक है, देखो यहाँ पे नहीं आ रहा है. अब मुझे पहले 123 वाला यहाँ तक लाना है, तो कैसे लाऊंगा मैं? देखो कैसे आएगा ये, फिर हम दूसरे वाली बात करेंगे. तो इसको लाने के लिए वो करना क्या है, इधर CLI है, CLI से देखो कैसे करना है आपको. CLI में जाना है आपको, कहाँ पे ये VPN 30 कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है, देखो that is a VPN 30 configuration, and you just have to go in the configuration and just go in the VPN 30, and you just have to redistribute BGP route in the OMP, right? So you just have to go OMP and advertised BGP. That's all. Inside of the OMP, because you want OMP should advertise the BGP route. So you just have to go into OMP and advertise the BGP. And the moment you do this, you need to commit it. You'll see that here 123 route will be available. See, it is now visible. Clear? Is it clear? So we done OMP route which advertised to the BGP. But the problem is once this route is advertised reached to this router R4, it is not going to advertise to R15. See this R15, if you check the show IP route, we don't have any route for the 123. See, there is no route. Let me just filter this. There is no route in this 123 in the routing table, because now your route is reached. Your route reached here via the OMP, but OMP further need to advertise in the BGP. This we need to do that. So here we just have to do via the CLI template, like the device template. Okay. So how can we do that? Let me just do that. So admin, and I need to advertise BGP route, OMP route in the BGP. So I will go in the template and I will go in the BGP template. Where is the BGP template? VPN 30, BGP template. This is a BGP template. And inside the BGP, I will advertise the OMP. That's all. So I'll go in the BGP and I will simply, here is the redistribution. So you just go redistribution and just choose the OMP. Means whatever the OMP route you are getting, you just want to advertise in the BGP and add it and update the template. The moment you update the template, this is going to be pushed to a device. And once it is going to push to a device, this R15 will start getting the route for the 120. Just wait. See, 123 route start learning here because BGP has been advertised. And if you see here, this was a coming, and now if you see the configuration, show run VPN 30, show run VPN 30, and you will find that under the BGP, you redistribute the OMP. So your 123 route, let me just re-explain it again to you. 123 route, which come from the BGP, we redistribute in the OMP, and it come to here, and again we redistributed OMP to the BGP, and then finally it reach here. Now you just have to reach 125 route. You just have to make sure 125 route learning from the BGP need to redistribute in the OMP. That's why it need to the here, and then again we have to redistribute it. So let's check it how it is going to happen. So R4 having the route, show IP route VPN 30, and see 125 is coming. But this 125 is reaching here in the R3. Let's verify. The answer is no, it is not reaching. See, 125 is not reaching here. So how we can redistribute? So we just have to redistribute the OMP template, and inside the OMP, we just have to redistribute the BGP. So here, how we can do that in this configuration, in that where the template. So if I'm going here, do you have any VPN 30 template? CS VPN 30 template we have. Just go in the VPN 30 template, and after going in the VPN 30 template, we just have to redistribute BGP inside the OMP. So let's see how it is going to happen. So I'm going here, and after this, just go here. Advertised OMP. क्या advertise करना है? You just advertise to BGP route. Just click on here, and the moment you'll do that, your BGP route start getting advertised in the OMP. It's a very easy task. Just you have to plug and play. So you'll see that in this VPN 30 configuration, you'll find something new configuration, and see in the OMP, you are advertising the BGP now because via the template we created it. So this has been done, right? No need to worry. In start, you checking on the R3 here, and earlier this was the only route, but now you will see that you start getting the 25 route as well. So we are good. So now my route learn from the BGP. We advertise the BGP route in the OMP, and via OMP reach it here. But this reaching to here, the answer is no, because OMP to BGP, we not doing any redistribution. So let me show you this 125 reaching to this R13 or not. So this is not going to reach. We just have to do that again, redistribution mutual. See, there is no 125 routes. Let me just show you the filter as well. So there is no route. So what we have to do, we just have to go in the BGP. You can just go in the VPN 30 configuration. And here you go in the configuration and just go in the router BGP. Already in the VPN 30. And you just have to redistribute. What is the command? redistribute, right? But it is not taking. Redistribute. Config T VPN 30 router BGP 65003 redistribute. Oh, wait, okay, we just have to use the address family unicast. Okay, address family IPv4 unicast, and then we just have to redistribute. This command will run this, and we just have to redistribute OMP, and then we have should done. So we're done with this configuration. Show run VPN 30. You'll find under this BGP we are redistributing the OMP. So now if you check this R13, you'll see you start getting the 125 route. So now we having the end-to-end connectivity. If I'm sitting here and I want to ping this 125 with the source, this address, it is going to work. See, it is working perfectly because we just make the end-to-end communication. So this is how BGP is going to be configured. Any question in the BGP configuration, how it is going to be happen? Because it's crucial, you just have to understand the process of the method, how it is going to be redistribute from one protocol to another protocol, and further how it is going to be used between the devices, right? So now we just have to use the policy. Okay, let me just stop this recording.